Well, good morning, everybody. It is Sunday the 25th of April, 2021. We are back in the plane. The plane I got back from Annual last week. Actually, it was a week before last. I spent a weekend cleaning it up. As you can see, nothing has changed. So there's a story behind that I'll relay. It's a beautiful morning. High pressure sitting over the Minnesota-Wisconsin border is just giving us gorgeous weather. We're going to go to Janesville for breakfast, and I'll explain it on the way up. You all just sit tight. It is a tale of the best laid plans of mice and men, right? All right, GPS set, transponder is set, lights. Nav radios are set, airspeed is 0, altimeter checks.
Information Oscar is now current at the Quad City Airport, altimeter 3012, runway 9er now in use.
012, 3012. Okay, so 9er means we're going that way, which is fine. Flaps are up, trim is set. Landing gear indicator is green. Brakes. Brakes are set, brakes are good. Go to ground. Bring up our plates. Good morning, Quad City Ground, Comanche 6928 Papa at the T's, looking for permission to taxi to the active.
Comanche 6928 Papa, Quad City Ground, would you like runway 5, current wind is 01088?
Runway 5 would be fine, sir.
Comanche 28 Papa, roger, runway 5, taxi via Kilo.
5 via Kilo, 28 Papa. Well, that's even better. Shorter taxi. All right, folks. So I hope everybody had a good, it's been, what, maybe a month, I guess? I last talked to you. When I left you, I was taking the plane up to Heritage in Freeport and was expecting to be without it for 6-8 weeks, but that did not happen. All right. Make sure our turn coordinator, the ball is sliding, the turn coordinator showing a turn. Bumpy. All right. Kilo 1.
Touching runway 05.
And 5, that's right. All right, brakes are set. All right, brakes set. Doors and windows closed and locked. Folks, I'll edit this part out to to save you the pain of it. Okay, folks, we're back. Here we go. Everything checked out good.
Good morning, Quad City Tower, Comanche 6928 Papa, Kilo 1 and 5. We're ready for takeoff, sir.
Comanche 6928 Papa, Quad City Tower, fly runway heading, runway 5, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, runway 5, cleared for takeoff, 28 Papa.
Okay, here we go. Fuel, flaps, trim.
Entered run.
Red Wing Blackbird, you need to get out of here. Runway's clear. Approach is clear, downwind is clear. On the runway, get up on center line. And gonna be slight light left to right. Here we go, coming up on the power. Airspeed's alive. Temperatures, pressures look good. Engine sounds good. There's 70, 75, 80. Pitch for 105. Positive rate of climb, gear coming up. Flaps are up. Cylinder head temperatures look good. Go ahead and get it into a cruise climb. 354 is my hottest cylinder. Little twist.
Comanche 2A Papa, contact departure, safe flight.
2A Papa over departure, thank you, sir. Good morning, Quad City departure, Comanche 6928 Papa, indicating 1,250,050.
Comanche 6928 Papa, Quad City departure, radar contact, climb to VFR requested altitude, proceed on course Janesville.
6928 Papa, climb to 3,500, headed for Janesville. Thank you, sir.
All right. We are a whole 5 degrees off. We're going to come left 5. Nice cold morning. We're getting 1,300 feet at 130 miles an hour indicated. We had a little bit of an updraft there. All right, let's go ahead and bring the prop back just a smidge. Get us into a cruise configuration, or a cruise climb configuration here. We're indicating 130. So we cycle the prop back just 70 RPM. We can bring that fuel boost pump off. I think I'm having to hold just a little bit of nose down. We're 10 left. Turn George on. And we're climbing for 3,500. We got 900 to go. 130 miles an hour is indicated. We're climbing pretty good here. Air is smooth, so we'll level out at 3,500. Cylinder head temperatures look good. There's 3,200. $100 to go. And we'll go ahead and pitch our nose down for the horizon, stopping our climb. VSI is catching up. Always a bit of a lag, unless you have an instantaneous VSI. Always a bit of a lag here. This one is actually almost instantaneous. The actual altimeter. Now we're picking up some speed. And we're going to trim it down. We're going to let the airplane accelerate. There's 160 indicated. We're still climbing. Airspeed wise, not altimeter wise. Must be fighting a heck of a headwind. I'm only getting 132 knot ground speed. It was actually, the wind was out of the north. Up here, about 18 knots I think is what the briefing said. So there's 165 miles an hour indicated. And it looks like that is about it for this altitude. So we're gonna, since we got a headwind, 3,500 feet is our pressure altitude, 24.2, we're gonna do 75%, 24.2, 23. So 24.2, we set the manifold pressure. Now we back off the RPM to 2,300. All right. Now we let that stabilize. And I watch my altimeter here, and I make sure I stay on altitude, and then we can trim. Once the air flows over the control surfaces stabilize for this power setting, we can set a decent trim, and it's just a little nose up, feels like. We're still decelerating a little bit. Now down to 159 indicated. That feels pretty good right there. Okay, excellent. Let's go ahead and check our airspeed out here. Pull up the E6B. Find out what our true airspeed is. Indicated is 130 or 3,500. That is correct. Altimeter setting 3012. Outside air temperature is just below freezing. It is -2. And our calibrated airspeed, and we're going to climb, of course. Let me get that back down and stabilized. What a gorgeous morning. I hope you guys can see there's sun coming in the front windshield here. That is stabilized. We are at 162 miles an hour, calibrated. Yeah, it's fair. That is a true airspeed of 144 knots. Or 166 miles an hour, which is actually, for this altitude, probably about right. My best speed is in the thinner air at 7,000 feet. That's where I'm going to get this power setting, would give me about 178, 180 miles an hour true airspeed. But the wind is stronger up there, so we're not going to go up there. The speed across the ground is what gets us places. Okay. Everything is looking good. We got 5 minutes yet on our fuel tank switch. Go ahead and try our altitude hold. So, as you folks can see, let's talk about what happened at Annual and threw a couple curveballs. So, hold on, we gotta lean it. I forgot to lean it. About 15.5 gallons an hour. That's right about there. That'll work. There, our altitude hold is already up and down. So, okay, at Annual. Took the airplane up to Heritage. First thing I did was I left the keys to the plane in my pocket. Sean flew me home. I got out of the plane with the keys in my pocket. Now, you don't need the keys to fly the airplane, but you do need the keys to open the baggage door and lock things up. So off I went to the post office. That was, I should have known things were going sideways because that's the first time in 10 years I've done that. And mailed him the keys to the plane. Annual, actually, plane went into Annual, and everything went very well. The only issue, we did our normal, replace the bungees, check all the normal AD stuff. The only thing we found additional was one of the bolts and one of the bushings in the nose gear, where the scissors are, had a little bit of play in it that on Comanches you don't want any play because of how the gear works. So that was a bolt in the bushing. They had to order it, so he had it for a couple of days extra there. But the Annual was done, and then we had to find a weather window because the weather turned crappy. As you can see, it is the 25th of April, and it is, well, up here it's freezing. Down on the ground it's probably 10 C or something like that, maybe 35, 40 degrees, 45 degrees, somewhere in there. And now tomorrow it's supposed to be up to 80. Okay, so this is the Midwest. Anyway, so the plane went into Annual, went fine. Called avionics place, talked to Dave over there, and had it all worked out that Sean was going to bring the plane over. Called Dave, said, hey, he's got it, he's going to bring it over when the Annual's done. And Dave said, well, I haven't gotten the autopilot yet. And I said, well, I'll call and check on where things are at. So I called up Genesis and talked to Doug up there, or down in Texas. And he goes, yeah, we've run into a bit of a snag. We can't build them fast enough. There's not enough circuit boards. So the autopilot's not going to be shipped until scheduled. Doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. May the 6th. So that was that. I called up Heritage and told Sean, hey, called Doug or Dave over at Avionics Place. Said, hey, it's not happening until May 6th. He goes, yeah, I was wondering about that. I've got a 310 sitting in the hangar waiting on his. So I was like, yeah, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'll just pick the plane up, bring it home, take it back up to Avionics Place. So Sean calls me after a couple weeks, says, hey, the plane's ready. Everything was good except for this one bolt. And we waited, it was an extra week before I had a weather window. We had snow last week. Just one day kind of thing. Flurries. Anyway, picked the plane up, brought it back. And So now, now curveball number 2, it gets worse. Curveball number 2, at Sun and Fun, and I just found this out last Thursday, Garmin announced that the G500, which is the autopilot I originally wanted because it works with these gauges, announced that they were doing the Johnson bar flaps as well as the STC is going to cover both Johnson bar and electric flap models of the Comanche. So I found this out Thursday, and every Thursday Comanche.
Comanche 6928 Papa, contact Rockford approach 126.0, good day.
28 Papa over to Rockford 1260, thank you, sir. Good morning, Rockford approach, Comanche 6928 Papa, level 3,500 VFR to Janesville.
Comanche 6928 Papa, Rockford approach. The Rockford altimeter is 3012. The information Zulu is current at Janesville. Looks like they're using runway 4.
6928 Papa, sir, I'll be getting that here in a bit.
Okay, switch tanks. Fuel boost pump on. Right main off, or on, left main off. Fuel pressure is holding. Fuel boost pump off. Fuel pressure is holding. Reset the timer. We used 5.4 gallons. So we record 5.4 out of there, leaving us 24.6, and we switch over. Fuel boost pumps off. Okay, and we're on this one. So the curveball is that's the original autopilot I wanted because it works with the G5s. So I spent a day thinking about this conundrum, because if I do the S-Tech, it's actually, the autopilot install is cheaper because I have the servos already back there. They just take them, rebuild them. They don't charge anything to rebuild them. So they're factory rebuilt basically, and send them back. And the autopilot doesn't have those extra stuff in it because I've already got an S-Tech 50. Conversely though, because I don't get the full benefit of the GTN 650 with these, I don't get the command bars, and I have to retain all these gauges because these are not certified for altitude and airspeed. I was going to have to replace those, so I was like, okay, the savings I get from this, I'll replace these. And yeah, so I talked to Dave, and finally I didn't know what to do. So I called Dave up there, talked to him, and he said, go ahead and do the G5, the install, because we're not doing all these swaps of gauges and stuff, would probably be cheaper with the labor. And I'm waiting on a bid from him to show that. So anyway, that's where we're at, folks. I might be going back to the G500 autopilot, leaving these gauges in, and maybe at a future day I'll replace them. But then I don't have to convert to knots. I can leave everything in miles an hour, which from a head perspective would be nice while I'm learning the autopilot and all that, and then convert to miles an hour later if I change those gauges out. That's it. First world problem, right? Really, let's be honest. First world problem. But still, a bit of thought has had to go into it. So that's it. We are, we're a half hour out from Janesville because our ground speed is only 124 knots. We're crawling along here in this headwind. And I'll get back to you here in a bit. We'll talk to you all in a bit. Bye. Well, good morning, folks. We're back with you. We are 11 minutes out from Janesville. I'm not talking to him yet. Still talking to Rockford. Overall, everything's been, what time is it? It's 8:39, so we are crawling across the ground at 120 knots. Weather in Janesville, it's Zulu, it's wind 02015, gusting 20, 10 mile visibility, which is much farther than that. 3 minus 5, 3010 is the altimeter setting. That's it. So we're on our way. Been a pretty uneventful flight, had a little traffic northeast of Freeport. That I spotted and just maneuvered around. He was doing maneuvers. Looked like maybe a training flight.
69 Rockford approach, Rockford altimeter 3012.
Like maybe a training flight. But we're 19 miles out here. Just starting to pick up a few little bumps. When you get the sun's up for a bit and we got cloud areas that are darker and thermal will start up, and then you got a strong wind that'll roll the thermal, and you'll get it's windy. Spring days are the worst. Here's a good one. Well, we're gonna fly home though. I'm only 120 knots across the ground, which means I should be like 165 going home, and I'll be 1,000 feet higher. Maybe I catch up a little bit more than that. I got the airport in sight. We're just waiting for the turnover from Rockford. Looks like there's some traffic going into Janesville. Like there's two in front of me. Yeah, two in front of me, it looks like. Runway 4, the wind is 020, so we're going to have 20-degree crosswind, which is, what is that going to be, about half, so figure 7 to 10 knot crosswind, left to right, which is, my favorite crosswind is left to right. I don't know why. I like left to right better than I like right to left. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed or something.
Scout 5069, descend maintain 10,000, reach 10,000, turn left direct bike, cross flight at 7,250 knots.
Whoa, there went off the ceiling. That's always fun. Time to cinch the belt down so we don't travel as far vertically. One of the most turbulent flights in the most recent past. Last year with my wife, we went up to Tri-County in the spring, and there was even a moderate turbulent airman out. I said, that is nothing. But we hit it right at where they said it was too, which is amazing. Yeah, she was not happy with that flight.
Number 6928, Papa, radar surface terminated, Squawk VFR, contact Janesville Tower 118.8, we'll see you.
Squawk VFR over Janesville, thank you, sir. Good morning, Janesville Tower, Comanche 6928 Papa. We are 13 miles southwest of the field, inbound with Zulu.
6928 Papa, Janesville Tower, good morning, report 4 miles straight in, runway 4.
We'll report 4 miles straight in, 428 Papa.
Go ahead and start our descent. Since we know it's bumpy, it's probably going to be bumpier down there. We are going to pull some manifold pressure, slow the airplane down before we start descending. Now we're down from 160 to 145. $140, and at this power setting, it should get us down to about 130, and we'll put the nose down. Ground speed is dropping off, so it's not like we're 4 miles, he said, so we're 10.8 now. 135. Let's put the nose down. Got the airport in sight, autopilot coming off. All right. Pre-landing checks. ATIS we got. Approach plate we've got. Nav comms are set.
Roger 460 here, favor turn right next taxiway, so your destination on the airport.
Let's get
restaurant, what's up, Bravo?
All right, Bravo, to the terminal, the reference is 5, just monitor ground on 0.65.
Roger, 8460.
Altimeters are set.
042 is clear of your airspace to the south.
We are fullest tank. All right, seatbelt, shoulder harness. We've got emergency gear lever is clear. Carb heat will get gear below 125. Fuel boost pump with our gumps, mixture with our gumps, prop with our gumps. Flaps below 100. Whee! All right, he wants
ATIS situation Alpha Stock current at Janesville, visual approaches in use. 04 is the active, current altimeter is 3012.
Okay, we do have a fellow over here. He's over Rockford, 500 feet below, and he's headed south, so he's going that way. All right, we're at 500 feet a minute is what we need to the center of the field, so I need a little bit more than that so I can pull level, get the airplane slowed down to gear speed. All right, gumps to go, Mike. Gumps to go. Left to right, crosswind. There's 6 miles. We're over the outer marker. All right. Like there's somebody taxiing.
Final runway 04.
Yes, thank you. At an altitude, pull level. Pulling some power out here to get us slowed down. $130.
Janesville Tower, Comanche 6928 Papa, 4 mile final, runway 4.
Here,
Comanche 28 Papa, runway 4, clear to land, wind 040 at 10, guts 15.
6928 Papa, runway 4, cleared to land.
okay. All right, folks. So now it sounds like it's right down the runway. Landing speed today is 77. Because of the gusts, we're going to land 80, 82. Give us a little gust factor correction there. And maybe we'll push it up a little bit farther than that, but not much. Okay, we got to start working some flaps in. So, gas undercarriage mixture prop. Speed, we're inside flaps. Go 2. Gas undercarriage mixture prop. We're at 90, that's where we want to be. We're 2 white, 2 red, which is where we want to be. Goodness gracious. Hell of an updraft there. Okay, runway is clear, check the gear, gear is down. Final notch of flaps coming in. There's some birds. We're down the runway though, so we're all right with that. There's a sink. Okay, get our nose over. Full power. Ooh, there was a gust. Oh, bounced it. That's all right, second one was good. Dump the extra lift. That was a horrible landing. That was just that's what happens when it's gusty. The wind just let off and she wanted to settle. Alright, the second one was really nice. Could hardly tell I landed the second one. We'll count that as a twofer. Alright.
Comanche 28 Papa Savo turn right next taxiway. Just mount on the ground, 0.65 in the parking.
6928 Papa, ride on Bravo, monitor 65 into Bessie's, 28 Papa.
There's the birds. 3 Canadian geese. Alright, fuel boost pump coming off. Alright, and monitor 0.5 into Bessie's. Okie dokie, folks. We will park out here, I suppose, because I don't see a place along the building. So thanks for flying with me. I'll have more for you once I know more about what's coming, what I'm going to do. That's it. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.